The box art for a supposed new Mortal Kombat Legends movie is just leaked, so I may as well talk about that. Mortal Kombat Legends Snowblind, as the name would imply, and as the cover itself also suggests, is supposedly to star Kenshi and Sub-Zero. And as we can see in the background, Shang Tsung is there because he was in the last two films, but he wasn't killed. So he was kind of the one lingering plot thread to wrap up. So what observations can we make from this cover, assuming it's legit? Well, Kenshi has a new design. He doesn't have one of his proper bodysuits on, so this would suggest to me that he has recently gone through the whole Well of Souls thing where he was tricked by Shang Tsung, which would also explain why Shang Tsung is young now. That perhaps Shang recently tricked Kenshi into opening up the Well of Souls. Shang Tsung took all the souls and is now younger, and that's how he regained his youth because Shao Kahn is dead, so he can't do it, and Kenshi's out for revenge. Then you look at Sub-Zero and you might think, is this supposed to be after a time skip? Not a lengthy one, maybe a decade, because Deadly Alliance is a decade after MK1, and Deception is set right after that. And you may recall that Sub-Zero had grey hair in Deadly Alliance. The reason for that was the power boost he got from the Dragon Medallion that he got when he defeated Sector and became Grandmaster of the Lin Kuei. And you may recall that in Battle of the Realms, the Grandmaster, Sector, Cyrax and Smoke all died. So the title is open now. So the implication seems to be that Sub-Zero is now the Grandmaster of the Lin Kuei, maybe a decade later, so we might even see a young Cassie after Johnny and Sonya got together. And so Sub-Zero is the Grandmaster of the Lin Kuei, and Kenshi will track him down or otherwise end up working with him. And that may seem odd to people who are only familiar with the newer games because Kenshi is more associated with Scorpion. Scorpion's the one that he left his son with after all. Well, in the original timeline, the first character to be considered an ally by Kenshi was Sub-Zero, because Kenshi was ambushed by Mavado during Deadly Alliance and almost killed, and then Sub-Zero found him and nursed him back to health, and the two started travelling together. Hence why the two are together in Kenshi's ending when Hotaru attacks them and Kenshi kills him to save Sub-Zero, because Hotaru is another of the many enemies Sub-Zero has made over the years. So that would seem to be the plot, so it seems like it would be based somewhat on Deadly Alliance and Deception, hence why I think it may have gone forward about 10 years. And Sub-Zero is wearing a post-time skip outfit. His outfit is the one from MK11. You can just about see with the shoulder pads and the outfit. Shang Tsung though is a little tricky to say. It's either his MK9 design or the MK9 face with the MK11 outfit. I can't quite tell, but I'm leaning more towards the MK9 one, with Kenshi having a brand new outfit, or perhaps this is just the rags he wears at the start instead of wearing the gi he wore for that event in the original canon, and that he'll get a proper outfit maybe after joining up with Sub-Zero or from the Special Forces or something. And before you question that, if you're not familiar, Kenshi was working for the Special Forces during Deadly Alliance, but he didn't consider them allies. They were just a means to an end, because the original Kenshi was much more of a lone wolf than the ultimately personality lacking version we have in the newer games where he's just a Special Forces guy and that's kind of it. So I have to wonder, is that the approach they're going to take with this version of Kenshi? Will his son already be born? Maybe they'll tie this all together and have it that Shang Tsung killed Su Qin as well, or something like that. Or maybe he'll meet Su Qin during the film or at the end, or she'll just be introduced in the fourth film if that ever happens. I mean, the fact we're getting a third film that isn't explicitly like Armageddon or MK11, like a big ending point, would seem to suggest that they are perhaps trying to go for as many of these as they can. Plus, this is Kenshi, a Kenshi movie. You know, we've had the Scorpion one, the Liu Kang one, now we're getting this Kenshi and Sub-Zero buddy movie. And Kenshi isn't exactly like one of the iconic major characters. So we could see all kinds of stuff in future films if they keep going with this. What are my hopes for this film? Well, hopefully we will see some stuff from, say, Order Realm. I mean, Hotaru being a force that is hunting them down could work. Shang Tsung being on his own seems to suggest that this is not a Deadly Alliance. Maybe Deadly Alliance influence, like he'll probably have his palace, like that'll probably be where the climax will take place. But I don't think he's going to be in a Deadly Alliance. He may be trying to do what the Deadly Alliance did, or maybe trying to resurrect Sindel or Onaga or something. But I think he's going to be on his own, and Sub-Zero and Kenshi are going to be trying to track him down. Ooh, think about it. Necromancer. If we bring back Shang being a Necromancer, he could be the one to turn Bi-Han into Noob Saibot. And that's the Deadly Alliance. Noob Saibot and Shang Tsung. And they've got respective rivals in the Team Snowblind. Ooh, that's good. That is good. Oh. You know, this film could be good, because the thing about the previous film was that it was shit. It was the worst Mortal Kombat film to ever exist, even worse in 2021. But the reason for that wasn't necessarily down to the people making it not knowing what they're doing. I mean, clearly, the fact that Sub-Zero has grey hair here, when he doesn't even as an old man in MK11, like when he's 30 years older, he's not actually got grey hair, but he did in Deadly Alliance because of the Dragon Medallion. It's one of those little details that suggests to me that these people do know the MK lore. They're just trying to put their own twists on it and such, so it's not like incompetence the same way that I think it is with the newer games. But the issue with Battle of the Realms was that they were trying to do too much at once. They were trying to tell 4 or 5 different stories all in the span of like an hour and 10-20 minutes. And there wasn't really room for MK1 and Scorpion stories in the first film. So that's why Battle of the Realms was just terrible. But having a more focused narrative, especially if it's more just taking influence from different stories from the previous games and not directly trying to adapt one of them so they have a bit more freedom with that, this could be a really good film. You never know. I mean, I doubt it, but I feel like it could possibly happen. Because I mean, I've turned around a little on Scorpion's Revenge. I still don't like it, but you know, that is still the best MK thing to come out in the entire NetherRealm era. So maybe MK Snowblind, if this is real, which looking at the, you know, look at this box art, like it looks professional. I can't imagine why someone would just make some bullshit fan art just for this. But this is good. Also, Sub-Zero having a different outfit does suggest that other characters might also get different outfits. Probably mostly from MK11, unfortunately. But that was one of the weird things in that previous film, is that Johnny Cage was the only person to change clothes in the entire film. But here we might see something cool. I just pray to God that if they do go with MK11 Bihan, that they don't give him that stupid helmet they gave him in the story mode. Go with the Reaper Hood and Giga Mask. That's the cool stuff. That's what people want to see. Or alternatively, you know, don't go quite that far with the edge and tone it down a bit and go for the MK9 design. This thing does have potential, I will say. So let's see how much of this I got right and how much I got wrong if this thing is revealed to be real and has a trailer coming out soon. I mean, having another animated movie for the 30th anniversary does make sense, because, you know, NetherRealm itself doesn't do anything to celebrate the anniversaries. It falls to people who actually care about the brand, and maybe these people do. But yeah, that's all the thoughts I've got on this box. I've been recording for 11 minutes, talking about this one picture and what it could imply. Adios.